Hey, welcome to Rondebosch on this glorious Wednesday afternoon. We've got Rondebosch on the 19A versus Sacs on the 19A with Anton Buerter, former Springbok, and I'm Dean Romer, coach at Rondebosch. In number 1, we have Daniel Sims for Rondebosch. Number 2, Ross Stone. Number 3, Michael Sable. Number 4, Ross van Schuur. Number 5, Michael Dynan. Number 6, Captain Jason Fisher. Number 7, Matthew Johnston. Number 8, Simon Wiley. Number 9, Dylan Watt. And 10, James Hablitzel. Seb Bedolian, 11. Number 12, Andy Hewlett. And number 13, Ollie DeFaan.
And the Sacs team, the boys are just finishing up their warm-up, but quickly before we start, number 1, goalkeeper Keegan Clark. Number 2, Simon Gee. 3, Nick Redlingas. 4, Cameron Lawrence and captain. 5, Tide Langer. 6, Daniel Tor. 7, James Brewer. 8, Matthew Bluchnote. 9, Matthew Chambers. 10, Alessio Donata. 11, Josh Faber. 12, Julian Roger Roos, and Ollie Skoormans, number 13.
It's Ollie Skoormans of Sacs with a swim-off win there, granting Sacs the first possession, first chance to attack.
Starting off with a tight press, pressing tight on each of their opposing players all over the pool.
As you can see, the tight press can be risky if the centre forward gets the ball freely and has a shot. But Rondebosch have had great success with the tight press this year. Coming up against very strong centre forward James Brewer from Sacs today. And Cameron Lawrence, number 4 from Sacs, also likes to roll in. Ball into Jason Fisher. Sebedoli rolling into the second hole on the left-hand side. Opening up the ball for James Blitzel, but the pass is long.
Sacs initially also starting with a tight press and then transitioning into a drop zone defence, and it resulted in them intercepting a late shot on the Rondebosch possession.
So Anton, could be a great game to watch if both teams persist with a tight pass, a tight press, opening up the whole man, and we could see some great goals.
Yeah, some big, strong boys on both sides, and a tight mark, tight press defence normally results in a very physical game, a lot of wrestling man on man.
That's the second relatively weak shot in a row from these two teams. Shooting from out wide, not able to get the ball into the hole. That's exactly what the coaches will want on defense. See, immediately now there's a weaker centre back and Nick Redding as at the back for Sacs. So the Sacs team decide to drop, opening up the players at the back for Rondebosch.
Attacking against a zone defence requires a lot of patience, making sure you move the ball around, making the defenders work, and ultimately looking to get the pass into the centre forward.
Exactly, Anton. You can see in these two transitions that we've just had from Sacs, they're in attack. They look like they want to set up the 6-on-6 offense centered around James Brewer there as he gets the ball. And easy foul for Rondebosch. Another unsuccessful long shot. Rondebosch coach Chris Stay and Nick Hock very happy with their defense so far.
Sacs immediately again into a zone defence.
Lots of wrestling there from Jason Fisher. And then a reversal for ducking under the defender. Just a split second, but it's enough to get referee Tristan Cudworth to call the reversal.
Sacs on the previous attack, struggling with the balance in the pool. Again, very unbalanced on attack. That's resulting in shots from poor positions.
Not going to beat Dan Sims there from 8 meters with a lob, especially not right down the middle. Rondebosch with an attacking opportunity. Ross van Skur has a massive shot. Sacs wouldn't be happy with him appearing on 7 meters open. Another opportunity on counter for Dylan Watch here. Once again, Ross van Skur opening up.
The slow attack up the pool by Sacs gives Rondebosch defenders a chance to recuperate on their defence and not having to work too hard on defence. That may end up costing Sacs a little bit later in the game.
Exactly, Anton, especially in these games where there's very few goals, very few breaks in the game. It's just up and down, up and down. And yeah. Ooh, good opportunity here for Sacs. 1 second left.
Rondebosch taking a big chance and leaving Sacs to shoot late in their 30-second possession. A bit risky, but they get the opportunity of a counter-attack at the other end.
Very risky, but Sacs have recovered from their counter-attack opportunity. And we'll see if they can create a one-on-one here at the back with Seb Bedoli. That's it. And kick out for Rondebosch. Well done, Seb Bedoli. Now we'll see Rondebosch's typical man-up attack. Moves the ball quite a lot. And we'll look to open up the postman. Let's see if they have the passing skill to pull it off. There, the postman's coming out to the middle. And he's open. He's waiting for the ball. That's Ross van Skur in the middle of the goal. James de Blitzel takes control. Great shot onto the top left corner.
A very patient build-up by Rondebosch, and it looked like Sacs may have slowed down that attack enough, but the transition from 4-2 formation to 3-3 meant it was too difficult to stop that on the second line. Goal eventually by James de Blitzel.
Yes, Anton, the Rondebosch passing almost letting them down. Ball hitting the water, slowing the attack down, but they were actually managed to create the shooting opportunity for James de Blitzel there. Now James at the back, you see he's wrestling, he's trying to push James Brewer from Sacs, the centre forward, as far out as possible to make him less of a threat. He's still sitting behind him, which is quite dangerous. And giving James Brewer a lot of time there, but he pushes the shot wide, just off his back.
The benefit of pushing the centre forward out, though, is that it forces the rest of the Sacs attack to set up further out, which limits their options. The ball comes into the centre forward, that's still a danger, but the rest of the players are somewhat out of a dangerous position.
Yes, and there's another kick out there for the Rondebosch boys. Oliver Skuurman's getting caught at the back by Jason Fisher.
Jason Fisher with an excellent quick turn to put Ollie Skuurman under pressure.
Yes. Unlucky shot from Matt Johnson there. Just on that Jason Fisher kick out, he's been working hard to improve his technique to sit facing the attack and receive more conventional ball and looking for that exact kind of turn. He favors sitting in a front mark and actually pushing his defender out. Much easier to attack than the other way around. Paying off there, but unable to convert.
Low percentage opportunity. A pass over a driving attacker is always at risk of being intercepted by the goalkeeper, which happened there. Dan Sims with a good interception.
And that's great marking from Ty Langner, number 5 from Sacs. Gets his arms up and makes a clean steal at the back. And Anton talking about that Rondebosch defense pushing the centre forward out. Rondebosch have only had 3 kickouts and 3 goals this entire season from the hole. So their centre backs have done an incredible job of defending that back position.
Dean, that's an amazing statistic. At this level of Waterpolo, there's normally a high number of exclusions, particularly because percentage-wise it's better to give away the exclusion than give away a dangerous action shot, which has got a high percentage of being converted.
Exactly, and they're managing to push the centre forwards out so far that there's not even an exclusion opportunity. And there we see James de Blitzel getting caught for ducking under on the counter-attack, and that's always a 50-50 call, very difficult for the referee to get right, but I think he got it right on that occasion. Another less than satisfactory shot from the outside from Ollie Skuurmans there. Although leading 1-0, Rondebosch will feel very comfortable and in control of this game so far. You can guarantee, unlucky shot from Dylan Watt there, you can guarantee that Coach Ryan Vedeman will come out with a different look in the second chucker for Sacs. That's the end of the chucker. Rondebosch still 1-0 up.
I think Rondebosch good value for that 1-0 lead after the first chucker. I think Sacs need to find a way of breaking down this tight defence. I think they need more movement to try and get the Rondebosch defenders doing a bit more work on defence.
We'll have to see what Ryan Vedeman whips out on the second chuck here for Sacs. They're going to have to change something. They're going to have to use more drives or try to get that centre forward further on 2 meters. Otherwise, their whole attack's just going to be pushed outside the 5 meter.
A popular tactic against a centre back that's pushing the centre forward out is actually to rotate the centre forward. So let when the first centre forward goes in, sets, and then immediately swims out to the wing and allows the second centre forward to come in. Ideally against a weaker defender, which gives them better opportunity.
Exactly. I think Sacs have a lot of faith in James Brewer and they'd like him to sit there, but I mean, he just hasn't had the right opportunities in the first chuck, and we'll see if they change it up and maybe bring one of the other experienced players onto a weaker Rondebosch player.
Or alternatively, send in someone else as a decoy to start with and let him come in second hole.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense, and I'm actually quite surprised we haven't seen that yet. Usually you'll just get a wing player swimming in and taking that defender out. Oh, that's a very hard call on Jason Fisher there.
Very unlucky not to get the kick out, Jason. A definite pull on the shoulder, which is normally an automatic exclusion.
Cam Lawrence getting away with that one. Obviously getting his hands quick enough for referee Mike Cheney. Another slow transition, and then they just aren't in a hurry, and Anson said it earlier. That's definitely going to cost them. You want to put the defense under pressure on your counter-attack. Get them out of position, catch them off guard, and right now Rondebosch just waiting for them. Cam Lawrence receiving on halfway.
Rondebosch, though, dropped into a zone defence there. It'll be interesting to know if that was an official instruction at the end of the first quarter to change their defensive pattern and keep the opposition guessing. But definitely zone defence there on that first defence of the quarter.
Yeah, after that offence, another reversal there on Jason Fisher. Looks like he got caught holding Cam Lawrence while Mike Dinan tried to drive across and free some space up. Rondebosch, one of the main problems that the first side has had this year has been turnovers in transition, either ducking under or over physical counter play. And now we see Jason Fisher early up the pool and a big block from Mike Dinan. Another risky maneuver there from Rondebosch, sending a player up and leaving Sacs man up on the far side, tempting him to attacking. In that case, Sacs came back with Oliver Skuurmans. And now a big wrestle on 2 meters.
Rondebosch set up quite narrow here at the moment. You can see both wings sitting very narrow, which keeps them in the game, but can crowd out the centre forward if they don't give him enough space.
It's exactly that wing defender coming back and dropping onto one of the centre forwards there. Way too close to each other and giving the Sacs boys a chance to make a good steal. And once again, we see the starting centre forward, number 7, James Brewer, lining up against one of the best centre backs in Rondebosch's team. We've yet to see a decoy or a drive. and they're persisting with working on 5 meters.
And you can see set up Dean at about probably 4.5 meters at the moment. You know, Rondebosch will be very happy with that. He's a long way out. Gives the, exactly as happened
Easy
now,
steal.
the other defenders a chance to get back and steal the ball.
Yeah, and by that stage, Rondebosch, 5 seconds, half up the pool, and then a reversal for not playing the ball. You don't see that often, but the player that's closest to the ball actually has to play the foul. Otherwise, the attacking team loses the ball. A bit more urgency on that counter-attack. Sacs sensing the opportunity to get a counter. Putting Rondebosch under slight pressure, but looks like they've formed a good defense here. James Brewer rolling in the wing there on a traditionally non-centre back, Dylan Watts. We'll see what happens.
Rondebosch working really hard to help their centre forward defender. You can see the boys from the outside dropping back and giving some assistance from the front. The key there is that the centre back, when they sense that assistance is coming, need to show hands and make sure they don't get an unnecessary exclusion against them. But Rondebosch losing another ball on attack. They need to be careful. A lot of turnovers going up, either bad passes or reversals on attack. They can lose a lot of the momentum that they've built up in the game.
The Sacs trying a different tactic here, sending traditional centre back Cameron Lawrence into the hole. He has had great success in the hole this year. Ryan Vederman sort of transforming him into a centre forward and adding another weapon to his arsenal.
Not an unusual situation where centre forward and centre back can interchange positions. Both of them are very similar skill sets and body type. Very obviously, both need very strong legs, strong upper body, and normally fit enough to be wrestling the opposing player. But there is another loss of possession on counter-attack by Rondebosch. This is really starting to put them under some pressure now. When you end up defending 3/4 of the time, that pressure eventually does start to tell, and they could see a goal against them.
Exactly. You don't want to give away 3 offenses in a row. Really not helping their cause and helping Sacs to actually get in their stride. A shot from outside shooter Nick Riedler. He's got a very good outside shot. Rondebosch deciding to take a time out there, and they're definitely going to have a chat about this offense. Just not good enough to be losing 3 in a row.
Yeah, Dean, I think a good call by the coaching staff at Rondebosch. It's a good time for them to call a timeout and get them to settle down. They clearly have lost a bit of concentration and some sloppy play, losing possession. For their sake, I'm sure they're going to hope that they get a bit more composure after this timeout.
Yes, and most of the senior players from Rondebosch having stayed in for the full chuck and a half there. We can see a couple of youngsters, Mike Saborn, number 3, Andy Hewlett, number 12, coming in. Looks like there might be a replacement at centre forward with Andy Hewlett replacing one of the players and maybe sitting in a double hole. So Julian Rojo-Roos looking to make another stop and actually get back in this game. Still a reminder, it's 1-0. Really anyone's game at the moment.
Dean, yeah, low-scoring game so far. It really does appear that the defences are dominating the game. Defences are on top of the attacks, and hence such a low scoreline at this stage.
Yes, Rondebosch taking the chance to slow down and get a full 6-on-6 here. They'll want full value for this and get a goal or a kick out. And rolling in from the left-hand side. Drive, I wonder if that was exactly what they planned. The drive coming right onto the second hole. Maybe not ideal.
Again, still setting up very narrow. Dylan Watt now in a second hole position, but very little space to get that ball into the centre forward.
And you can count that another turnover on offense. A needless long pass into goalie Keegan Clark. Keegan Clark, one of the better goalies in sports, Waterpolo. And one of his, definitely one of his biggest weapons is coming out of his cage and looking for that intercept. And there you see it sitting on 2 meters catching the ball. Now you see that drop coming from Dylan Watts and Andy Hewlett. Maybe they're that much more nervous of Cam Lawrence in here. And that's not going to get any goals for Sacs.
Again, a low percentage shot. I think Sacs looking relatively unbalanced and setting up quite far out from goal, forcing a low percentage shot from the outside again.
Great work from Mike Sable there. Looks like Matt Chambers might be out the pool. Excellent work on transition, and that's the benefit of getting up the pool as hard as possible. You catch your player off guard. If you can get front water and shake around a bit, he's going to get to the corner and your team gets 20 seconds extra man.
But it just shows you controlling possession is important in that transition. There's no need to give a low percentage pass. Just someone working off the ball can get the exclusion, and there's a goal for Ross van Schoor. Nice high shot to the goalie's left-hand side.
Ross van Schoor appearing into the middle of that attack. And again, he has got a great shot. And popping up on 5 meters, he's going to sink more than he misses there.
Ross van Schoor, the son of a former national player, he's obviously learned something from his father.
Yes, his dad tells me he's working on correcting his shot technique, but Ross might have something to say about that. Definitely a little bit more urgency from Sacs here as we see 1 or 2 drives. A bad pass costing them there. Okay, no, they got the foul. But bad passing definitely costing their ambitions here, and half the Sacs players are back over there halfway by the time they get through.
More urgency on attack, but still no balance in the Sacs attack. Very, very bunched up, and again setting up far away from goal. I know I've said that before, but very evident that it's forcing them to take shots from low percentage positions.
It's quite simply we're seeing the exact same thing here on this attack, where Sacs have managed to bully the centre forwards out to 4 or 5 meters. And everyone's setting up on 8, 9 meters around them, just not going to get goals. So Rondebosch will be looking to keep that up. The Sacs, I mean, their defense as well has been quite stellar throughout the game. 2-0 halfway through a game is nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, Dean, I think you're right. The Sacs centre back seem to be trying to side mark or front mark the centre forward, and that's made it Rondebosch getting passes to the centre forward more difficult, and hence the loss of possession on quite a few of those passes.
Sacs a bit lucky to get that long shot to result in a 2 meter. What we find here is Cameron Lawrenson sitting up in the front. Been a second chuck attack of Sacs this year and had some great success, so they'll be looking to get some kickouts or goals from the hole. But the problem is they haven't even been able to put the ball in so far. The outside defense forcing the shot.
Rondebosch have clearly recognised that danger and have changed their defensive pattern to a zone defence, and making sure they take Cameron Lawrenson out of the game as far as his attacking centre forward position is concerned.
Interestingly there, Seb Bedoli choosing to still wrestle with Cameron and not just rely on his drop, and eventually earning the reversal. A very physical player, Cam Lawrenson. He plays right on the edge of legality. And he's a tough, strong lad, and he's going to get a lot of goals, a lot of kickouts if they don't look after him.
You can see Sacs now front marking the centre forward, making it extremely difficult for Rondebosch to get a pass in. And they eventually run out of options there. But that's the end of the chukker. Score 2-0 to Rondebosch.
It's coming from you considering you're Yahweh. Living the hard life.
So about to swim off for the third checker. We see a change in goals for Rondebosch. Ollie Defan, a grade 10 youngster, prodigious talent. Has played extremely well for Rondebosch first team this year.
Dean, I think just summing up the game, a scoreline of 2-0, very few goals in two chuckers, and I think Rondebosch will obviously be very happy for their lead. I think Sacs can be happy that they've held Rondebosch to only 2 goals in the second chucker. They need a bit of luck to go their way to get on the scoreboard, though.
Exactly, yes. Rondebosch will be happy with the 2-0 lead, but in a game like Waterpolo, Jason Fisher getting a shot off there from matching up against one of the younger guys, Julian Rocha-Rus, and that's what we were talking about at half-time, Anton. Trying to get the centre forwards onto a non-centre back, increasing your chances, whereas what we've seen so far from Sacs and Rondebosch, they're taking the main centre back in and really just working against the current.
Yeah, they end up cancelling each other out, and there are very few opportunities created. A well-balanced team should have 2 or maybe even 3 players that can play centre forward, and ideally you're looking for a mismatch where one of those centre forwards picks up a weaker defender.
Yes, a cracking shot from James Brewer there off the foul. Out to his costume, and he buried that in the top corner. That's a brilliant shot, and that's what we're talking about, changing things up a bit. That's the Sacs centre forward sitting on left half on 8 meters, getting another shooting opportunity from a foul and shot there. Unlucky start for Ollie Defan the first time he sees the ball. Is it coming into his top right hand and over? And as we see, a 2-0 lead is precarious in a game like Waterpolo. It can change in a matter of 2 attacks. Rondebosch a bit lucky there with Sacs missing out on their counter attack. Again, the Sacs centre forward sitting on about 6 meters now. They want to change this up. They're not going to sit with him there forever, unless he's setting up on 5 meters for another foul and shot. There it is. There's his. Oh, he doesn't get the foul.
The centre back's able to go a lot easier on the centre forward. A swing shot or a back shot from that distance, the goalkeeper should see in time to cut off. So the centre back can play a little bit less aggressively and reduce the chance of an exclusion. A mistake there by Sebedoli of Rondebosch, mishandling the ball and giving Sacs another opportunity.
Redling swimming into centre forward and then swimming out. And that Sacs opportunity has largely been wasted by Rondebosch being very aggressive and sending players up the pool, and Sacs not responding to that very well. Very well played by the Rondebosch defense, having lost that ball in the middle of the pool, not allowing Sacs to take advantage of the counter attack.
Sacs eventually with no other option but to dump the ball in the corner. Time was running out on their 32nd possession, and they didn't want to give Rondebosch a counter attack opportunity. Rondebosch coach Chris Day shouting balance, balance. Again, a lot of the players were sitting on the left-hand side of the pool, which makes getting a pass into a dangerous position more difficult.
Still lots of time in this attack. Let's see if they... early shot from James Blitzel. On about 17 seconds, you don't want to be taking a shot from 8 meters with the whole defense, goalies watching you. You want to set something else up, get some drives going, maybe play the centre forward.
Centre forward's been fighting for all of those, the time up until that point, trying to get position to receive the ball, and the last thing he wants is to see one of his teammates shoot unnecessarily early there.
And a sloppy pass to James Brewer, eventually giving it away there for Sacs. Sebedoli with the steal, and now James the Blitz on the counter. This is a great opportunity to set up an early hole here. And James the Blitzel guilty there of playing towards the referee and not the ball.
Yeah, hanging on to the ball a little bit long there. The Sacs defender definitely gave him a pull back on the shoulder, but he still had the ball in his hand and hence didn't get the exclusion that he was looking for.
A little bit of a tussle there in the middle of the pool. Let's see, it looks like Cameron Lawrenson and Jason Fisher, the captains, having a bit of a tussle in the middle of the pool. And both getting sent out. That won't reset the clock. And Sacs will have a full 30 coming into attack. Now, often the refs will do that just to calm things down and make sure the players don't escalate that confrontation. I often wonder at the necessity and rather just let them play and see how it goes. But obviously the referee's sensing danger there.
Dean, you obviously like to see a bit of aggressive play in the pool. Nothing wrong with that. That's the way we taught to play.
Absolutely, there's nothing wrong with that. I must say, let the boys play.
Rondebosch sending Ross van Schoor in as centre forward in this Chaka. That's his second opportunity he's got and now earning an exclusion. So mixing it up a little bit, keeping the Sacs defenders guessing and changing the centre forward person who's sitting centre forward.
That's a double exclusion there. Firstly, Michael Blino getting kicked out, going to the corner. And then James Brewer for preventing Rondebosch from playing the ball. Usually the defense and the double man down will stay in the goal. They haven't. And they pay the price. Matt Johnson's a sharpshooter and he puts it away on the right hand side. 3-1 Rondebosch. It's really unnecessary from James Brewer there if he was indeed holding on to the ball. Much easier to defend a man down than a double man down. The team already down 2-1. Not really necessary. Easily given away by Cameron Lawrenson and Ollie Skiermans there. Just a miscommunication, lack of eye contact. Mike Dinan shoots up the pool. And then Ollie Skiermans steals it right back.
Again, Sacs' slow transition up the pool gives Rondebosch a chance to send a couple of their players back and play extra man on defense until Sacs gets up the pool. Making it very difficult. But one of them got isolated and has now, that's Ross van Schoor being excluded. Really unnecessary. The ball wasn't available and wrestling with the player off the ball.
Yes, that's Dan Tor, number 6 for Sacs, that won that kick out. And he's really added to his game. He's a lefty, he's nice and long, he's got a great outside shot. And he's worked hard to develop his rolling into the second hole. You can see the results there. He's getting Ross van Schoor, a particularly strong defender, into trouble, getting the kick out. The Sacs taking the opportunity to have a man-up timeout. So they'll be discussing a particular play, something from the training ground, and we'll see if it pays off.
Crucial time for them now, really. Into the third quarter, Rondebosch with a 2-goal lead. If they can convert this extra man situation, they'll be right back in the game.
Yes, a 2-goal lead can disappear just like that. And opportunities don't come much better than a man-up. And timeouts, and they have time to regroup and gather. Interestingly, they're putting a lefty, number 9, Matt Chambers, onto the left post. They might be looking to drop the ball onto the wing there, and then onto his left hand. And driving into a 3-3. Sloppy passing costing them here so far. Cameron Lawrenson with the shot from the outside. Very unlucky not to score there. And Rondebosch actually on the counter attack here. Matt Johnson's gone right up. Keegan Clark, as I said earlier, his intercept ability of reading the game is incredible. And once again, he makes a steal on 7 meters there.
With a clear breakaway like that, Dean, often better to change the angle slightly and swim rather a little bit wide of the goals, because that creates more doubt in the goalkeeper's mind. If it's directly over the attacking player, the goal feels more comfortable.
Exactly there. Ollie Defaan making a save from a shot from the outside from Ollie Skiermans. Give a little bit of confidence. Got an interesting matchup here. James Brewer against centre back Simon Wiley. And they're just spinning around and around. So far, good work from Wiley. And then a little bit drop. Oh, beautiful lob there. Beautiful lob from Ollie Skiermans. He does have that lob in his arsenal. Chooses to use it from about 8 meters outside the left-hand post and catches Defaan off guard.
Excellent shot hitting the inside of the upright, Dean. Very difficult for the goalkeeper to get across to serve that.
Coach's worst nightmare, that lob. Once they score one, they tend to throw about another 7 at the goal without having any success, but Ollie Skimmons has that shot down waxed. As we were saying, Sacs right back in it here, 3-2. Matt Johnson trying his best to change that. Once again, holding on the ball a little bit too long there.
Yeah, hanging on the ball too long. You know, had his defender in a very weak position. If he had released that ball, very good chance of an exclusion or a penalty. Obviously just trying to hold on and muscle the defender and try and free himself up for a shot, which didn't work out.
Now, I must say, Anton, I'm not often a fan of referees, but today Tristan Cudworth and Mike Cheney have done a great job of letting the game flow. Not blowing their whistle too often and too many times and unnecessarily, and just letting the guys play.
Absolutely, Dean. I have to agree with you there. You know, normally when there's no comments about the referees, it means that they're reffing well. The only time you hear about any comments is when there are complaints. But it is important also to compliment them when they're reffing well.
Chris Day not very happy with that call. But once again, the ball landing a little bit far, maybe out of reach of the centre forward there, and the centre back throwing his hands up just in time.
And also no eye contact between the centre forward and the passing player, which probably created some doubt in the referee's mind that the centre forward was even aware that the ball was there and didn't give him the benefit of the doubt.
And that kind of pressure created by the centre back on Simon Wiley with another steal. I think that's about a 6th or 7th steal in 5 games this year. So really using those long arms.
Strong legs and long arms, and most importantly, actually playing the ball and not the man, which gives them, you know, an opportunity to create those turnovers.
Exactly. As physical a game as Waterpolo is, often it's the subtle moves, soft touch on defense that gets those steals. Nice big wrestle from Jason Fisher and Cameron Lawrence. Another lob coming in off the upright from Matt Johnson.
Rondebosch reverting to a tight mark again. It's very interesting to see the way they are. That was Sacs tight marking there, but both teams actually switching between tight and zone defense. Sacs forcing Rondebosch to set up their attack a long way out there.
I just say, while we have the time, both of these squads are really one to watch for the future. They've got a great mix of talent that's now matric, grade 11 and grade 10. And both squads have spent years building these teams up, and Sacs especially have had much success in the last couple of years. And Rondebosch feel like they're coming to an age now where they're going to be challenging for cups. And certainly for the next couple of years, by the balance of their team at the moment, they look like they can do it. As does the Sacs team, with only 2 or 3 matrics, 2 or 3 grade 11s, and a lot of grade 10s in both teams.
I'll get it.
Indeed, the game's really set up for an exciting finish. 3-2 going into the last chukker. Very low scoring game, but it's anybody's game at this stage. I think the team to score first is certainly going to be, this first goal is going to be absolutely crucial. If Rondebosch go into a 2-goal lead, that'll obviously give them a strong advantage. And conversely, if Sacs draw level, then it really is anyone's game.
Exactly. With such low shooting percentages, you never know when that goal is going to come. It really could change the game. Rondebosch win the swim-off, and I was actually just discussing with another one of our Rondebosch coaches, Brendan Argent. In these first league games, the average amount of attacks that one team will get is around 9 to 11. And that extra attack by winning the storm off really can be the difference between winning and losing a game. It's not that important over the course of an attack. Oh, brilliant from Fisher in the middle.
Absolutely spectacular goal. A very difficult position to receive a pass from wide on the wing. But what made that goal so good was his control and release of the pass was all in one movement. It gave the centre back absolutely no time to react. Brilliant goal by Jason Fisher.
I hope there were replays of that, because there were 3 Sacs players converging on the centre forward there. And any drop would have resulted in a steal. But he took control and beautiful shot, donut, over the keeper's head. Speaking of that first goal, Anton, that puts Rondebosch 4-2 up. And their tails will be up now, and you can see the rates at which they're driving up the pool. They've got some energy.
The pressure really on Sacs now. I think if Rondebosch get the next goal, they really are up against it. So absolutely crucial that Sacs win the next couple of possessions to give themselves a chance to narrow the deficit.
Just like a tight game of football, you can see how that goal has lifted the urgency. Another shot from Jason Fisher, not managing to put any power on that though.
Rondebosch will be wanting to maximize the time use of each possession now. They're ahead in the game. They don't need to chase the game. So what they don't want to be doing is giving away early possession up the pool. A decent opportunity from the centre forward, but they won't want to rush too many from now on.
And that's kind of what I was talking about with the Sac side opting for a weak side lob there. And it's really not a great option when you're chasing the game. You want to make sure that you control the game just as much as the offensive team. See if you can take a well-taken goal.
What Rondebosch don't want to do now is stop working on attack. What they don't want to do is be lazy on attack and let Sacs have all the momentum and possession. But having said that, they certainly don't want to be rushing their attack either. Dylan Watt hoping the ref's going to give him a foul there and not really hanging on and fighting hard enough for that foul. Sacs come away with possession.
Up until that point, Rondebosch, you can see the intent to hold the ball and not do anything silly, and then just losing it at the end. The Sacs struggling to get up the pool. Only placing a centre forward on 6 meters at about 13 seconds. It's going to be tough if they want to score goals like this. Rondebosch opting to double mark the centre forward and not move up the pool. That's great defense.
But that's been allowed to happen by Sacs sending back Cameron Lawrence and to go and mark Jason Fisher. Very negative tactic by Sacs. Worried more about Rondebosch's next attack than scoring a goal themselves.
Clearly they feel there's still lots of time in this game and they're going to take it slow. Again, a 2-goal lead is really nothing in a game of this stature with shooters like this and centre forwards like that which we have in the pool now. It really can change quickly. And that's a very strange maneuver from Matt Johnson, feeling like he should shoot the ball there. And I think that was an off-the-ball kick-out, and he's actually lost it.
The referees now, I assume, are going to consult. They got the exclusion Matt Johnson shot, and Rondebosch coach Chris Day then called the timeout. It'll be interesting to see what decision the refs make, whether they're going to give the turnover to Sacs or allow Rondebosch to take the timeout.
Johnson very lucky that Chris Day got the timeout call in there, because that foul was that kick out was on the 2 meter, and Johnson taking a shot from 5 meter would have been immediately disallowed. Very strange call.
And Rondebosch very lucky there. As far as I could see, the timeout was only called after that shot was taken. A lot of refs may have given that as a goal throw and not allowed the timeout.
And further down the line this season, that's the kind of thing that can really make or break a final. You want to see composure in the last chucker from the team that's up by 2 goals. And that just screams of a lack of composure. Refs getting technical on the timeout re-entry there. Offensive team has to line up on halfway before they enter the offensive zone. Essentially, that's to ensure that the defensive team does not get caught out and caught off guard by the offensive team re-entering the game. It'll be interesting to see if Sebedoli hits that he wanted to. You could see it. He went in with great intent. And that's a great move. I wonder if that's what Day wanted. He gives a shrug, and I don't think it was out of the playbook, but I mean, Jason Fisher finds himself open on the right wing and gladly takes the shot.
An excellent control by Sebadoli. You know, you could see that he was very tempted to take the shot. He could obviously see some opening, but control was more important there. They needed to make sure they kept possession and took the best opportunity available. Sacs really need to start taking some more chances now on attack. Time is running out, and their score is now 5-2. They really need to get a goal quite quickly here.
And really, on that attack, there was a gulf of literally 6 meters in between goalie Dan Sims. Looks like he's back in the pool. Dan Sims and the closest Sacs player, and they just will not get goals like that.
Reversal called on Jason Fisher in the hole. As I said earlier, he needs to keep working, but ideally you don't want to be giving away offensive fouls, change of possession and giving Sacs a chance to get back in the game.
Well done from Dan Sims, getting in the way of that back shot from James Brewer. And James the Blitzer looks like he took a knock to the eye there. Getting back in the game, no harm, no foul. Sebadoli lining up at centre forward here against one of the younger Sacs players. He'll be looking for the ball, but Ollie Skierman's seeing the threat and dropping back.
Rondebosch won't be disappointed in that at all. Using their full 30 seconds, the ball ends up in the corner, and they get a chance to set up the defence under no pressure.
Ollie Skierman's taking a chance there and trying to take the ball back to where he was fouled outside the 5 meter zone, but getting called for taking the ball out. Clearly the foul was inside 5. Rosman School with a clever pass over. Sebadoli finishes on the inside corner. Great finish. And that 4-goal lead will now be unassailable, one must assume.
Yes, again, nice controlled Waterpolo on attack by Rondebosch. Sacs at 6s and 7s there, really leaving one of the most dangerous players unmarked on 2 meters. They're clearly thinking more about attack than defence, and I suppose that's what happens when you're under pressure towards the end of the game.
That's exactly, Anton. We were talking earlier in the first and second chukker about Sacs not exactly flying up the pool and putting the pressure on Rondebosch. That's where you tire defences out. You don't tire them out on your defence. It's much easier to swim up the pool when you're on offense. You've got to really put the pressure on there to make sure that the defense is nervous and tracking back and looking after you. And if not, at the end of the fourth chukker, you're going to be the tired ones. James Brewer looking to recreate that earlier shot from the outside, this time sending it over the crossbar. See, now we've got 25 seconds of Rondebosch attack here, but a bad pass cost him with a good steal from Ty Langner. That's great awareness. Teaming up with fellow grade 11 Alessio Donato. And then an in-match substitution. You won't see that often. There might be a problem with James Brewer. Liam Brown coming in. In-game substitution allowing Rondebosch to double mark the hole. And Liam's a grade 10 from Sacs. It really does have a cracking shot. And his coach screaming, have it, have it, have it. He chooses to pass it off to Alessio Donato and cover back. Rondebosch at 6s and 7s at the back there. Lucky to get away with that. Now they send it up the pool. They got a full 30. We'll see if they actually end up slowing this game down and taking the full 30 and only popping it in the hole at the end complete opposite of that, and a reversal from Jason Fisher. Matt Johnson pushing the pace there with 20 seconds left. You'd think he'd hold on to it.
Yeah, I guess that shows, Dean, that they're probably comfortable with their lead and they think it is actually unassailable. But still, maybe that schoolboy Waterpolo, whereas more senior, more experienced team may still want to hold at it. They don't want the opposition to score any goals.
That's exactly, and not many coaches will be pushing the pace at four goals up and 2 minutes left. So I wonder if that's just a little bit of lack of composure. You really do want to practice the last 2 or 3 minutes. You know, one day you might be up in a final by 1 or 2, and you need to slow that game down. That's a skill in its own. And I imagine Chris Day must be quite frustrated now with the kick out on the other end. Mike Dining getting caught at the back by Alessio Donato. Michael Bluchner not able to get a good handle on that shot. Sends it across the goal. Now we have Chris Day screaming full 30. So they'll definitely be looking to slow it down, but we also have Ross van Schoor on counter.
And Dean, that's the game. I think final result 6-2 to Rondebosch. A hard-fought game. But I think Rondebosch certainly had the edge, as is reflected in the scoreline. Been a lot of fun chatting with you about the game. Where, as we were saying before the game, we're normally sitting and watching and chatting to each other anyway. So nice to be doing it in a more official capacity.
Yes, exactly. Thanks, Anton. Been a great afternoon, and well done, Rondebosch. A comprehensive, if somewhat defensive win. But you know what they say, defense wins championships. So good luck to both Sacs and Rondebosch and the season they're on.
Nick,